Hi besties, I'm Leah, your bookish big sister, and in today's video I thought that we would do a book review of Booktok's smuttiest ice hockey series, which, if you couldn't tell by the thumbnail, it's the Maple Hills series by Hannah Grace. The Maple Hills series by Hannah Grace follows a group of boys, the Maple Hills University ice hockey team, and some of their romances. The books are Icebreaker, Wildfire, and Daydream. They all follow different kinds of romances. A lot of people have opinions on this series. They love to share how they think and feel about it, but I thought that I would add to that because I have a thing or two to say about other people's opinions on this series. Really quickly, I look crazy because I've just put a hair mask in my hair. I'm about to go in the shower, but I thought that I would do a quick review because I forgot that I wanted to make a vlog of the Maple Hills series. So in November I read Icebreaker. It was a reread. I rated it 4 stars. I think now that it's been quite a while, I'd probably rate it 3.5, to be honest. I think that as a debut novel, Icebreaker is phenomenal. I mean, I've tabbed loads, but as I'm quite picky on my books, and because I'm quite picky, I'd probably rate it 3.5 stars now. The issue was mostly how it was written, not anything else per se. Anastasia was such a relatable character. This is Anastasia. Don't know if you can tell, she's the female main character. She is like painfully relatable. She is almost like self-destructively, or she is such a self-destructive perfectionist. It's almost poetic. Completely relate to that. I'm totally not reading off of my script. No, she is always organized. She always has a planner, and I feel like that relates a lot to me. In fact, Anastasia has her planners, so do I. I related a lot to her need to be perfect. Or, you know, I get that. I'm a creative person too. It's painful. She is ambitious and stubborn, and she knows what she wants and she goes for it, and I think I relate a lot to that. I loved her character. Nate is the male love interest. He really was a walking green flag. I loved him so much. He just cares so much about his team. He looks after them so well. He looks after Anastasia so well. It's just, that's really all I can say about him for a minute. For a minute. The book has brilliant found family in it, which also, if anyone knows anything about me, found family is my favourite trope, and from what I know, the whole series has found family. It has Grumpy ex-Sunshine, and as well, to make it even better, she is the Grumpy, he is the Sunshine, which I did really enjoy. The book is spicy. Everyone knows that, hence why this video is labelled the most hated ice hockey series on the internet. Hannah Grace, the author, really did such a wonderful thing of letting background characters stand out, and you can really tell that it's going to become a series because she let these background characters stand out. All of them, the teammates all stood out. All of Anastasia's friends stood out. The only thing that I didn't like about the characters was Anastasia's friend Lola. I don't like the fiery redhead who just says whatever and everyone goes on with it trope.
Oh my god, Brittany! Well, you were thinking it. Yeah, well, you said it.
I don't like that trope. Not that I don't like redheaded characters, but I don't like, for example, Jules in the Twisted series. Didn't like. She was too... Have you seen those videos that's like POV, an older lady goes blah 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 with her angry friend?
Hello, I'm here to pick up my prescription. It's for, well, it's rather delicate, but...
Look, don't say you don't have it, because I've just seen you give thrush cream to another lady.
All right. Yes, let's keep it down. So it would be under the name...
Yes, it's under her name. Can't you just look it up on your system?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what like Jules and Lola remind me of. Now, the reason it wasn't a 5-star book was because it was written to be an easy read, which I really like easy read romances. It was just such an easy read that at times it was cheesy, and so cheesy that I had to stare at a wall and just be like, what the fuck am I reading? No, everyone knows that the series has smut in it, has spice. It's just... There's one smut scene when he's dressed up as Gru. I think it's either Gru or one of the minions. They decide to go dressed up for Halloween as the Despicable Me cast, basically, and they shag. They have intercourse while he's dressed up as Gru. And I had to talk to Archie, my partner, about this, because I was like, if I ever came up to you dressed as a minion, would you... Another spicy scene that made me cringe and or like panic for myself. There was a scene when they were in the back of an Uber. I think a lot of people know about this scene. They're in the back of an Uber with all of their friends in the car. There was not enough room for them all to fit in a seat. So Anastasia and Nate sit in the back. Anastasia sits on his lap and they basically shag. And when reading it, I was like, oh, this scene is great. It's spicy. What isn't there to like about it? And then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, how would I feel if I was in the back of a car doing the do, getting jiggy with it, and my best friend turned around to me to see what music I wanted on, to see if I wanted to stop for food, see if I was going home or going to their house mid-shag. And then I was like, nah, no, this scene is not it. It's not it, unfortunately. However, I genuinely stand by it that I like the found family tropes, the grumpy ex-sunshine. It was also Hannah Grace's debut novel. As a writer, it is my dream to have my debut novel be as It is my dream to have my debut novel as successful as Icebreaker was. I mean, are you kidding me? And I'm about to start reading Wildfire, which is the second book of the series, and it's a reread. I read it when it came out, actually, because my hair, what is going on with my hair? We're gonna pretend that's not doing it. So this is my copy of Wildfire. As you can tell, it's a reread. But my copy of Wildfire, because I got it on its release date, is a signed copy. I thought that this book was okay. Not that it was bad. It wasn't amazing. It was good. I enjoyed reading it. It just isn't... I don't think I'd recommend Icebreaker to someone that was... I don't know. Because I would recommend Icebreaker to people that want easy read, spicy romance. But I don't think I'd recommend it to someone that doesn't like easy read romances. You know, if someone was like, oh, I'm always reading the deep dark stuff, I want to slow down a little bit, go back a bit, I wouldn't recommend Icebreaker. But no, I am about to read Wildfire. I'm very excited to read it. Yeah, again, it's a reread. I really loved it the first time I read it. I have it on my Kindle as well, so I'll probably be reading it 50-50. But no, it's cute. I prefer the cover. I will say I prefer the Wildfire cover. It's my favourite of the three because Daydreams... Right, you're on my bookshelf, by the way. No, I prefer the Wildfire cover, but we'll talk about the covers in the end of the book because I have a fucking thing or two to say. I've just finished Wildfire. I can't remember if I've already said it was a reread. It was still a 5-star read. Aurora and Russ are my favourite. If the... what's the word? Love interests, and no, I loved it a lot. I read most of it on my Kindle. I'm holding the book up for a prop because I don't know what to do with my hands. I read 90% of it on my Kindle just because it was easier and quicker to do it like that. There was lots of tension, spice, but necessary spice, and tasteful spice, may I add. The plot was brilliant. The characters were likeable, relatable, still found family vibes. To say that it had very little to do with the ice hockey team in this book compared to Icebreaker, the camp staff also gave found family vibes, which found family is my favourite. Everyone knows that. I'm really enjoying it. I did really enjoy it. It was a brilliant read. I can't say much because it was a reread, so there was nothing big or shocking about it because I knew exactly how it was going to go. I did still enjoy it though. It's one of my favourite books. It still is one of my favourite books. It's a 5-star read. Hannah Grace did a very good job with this book. Okay, so this is future editing me. It's been a month, I think, since I filmed those reviews, possibly even more, because I had a mental breakdown. I had to take a few weeks off of work to replan and reschedule because someone made the comment that they were my only viewer, and them knowing that this is my whole goal, my whole life mission to become a bookish content creator. It set me back by quite a few weeks. It absolutely crushed me. Genuinely, it made me go into a week-long depressive episode. So, as future editing Dahlia compared to the last video you just saw, I forgot to record my Daydream review, so here it is. I also have a little update in general for you afterwards anyway. It's been so long since I've read Daydream, and to be honest, I'm currently moving house. Well, I'm trying to. I nearly bought a house, that failed. I'm now trying to buy a second one, and it's so stressful. I quite literally always have a headache, and on top of that, I'm also a stay-at-home mum who's trying to treat this as a full-time job. So it's even more stressful. I'm even more tired. Now, I rated Daydream 4.25 stars out of 5. I really related to Hallie's character as, you know, her being the oldest sibling and all of those things. I related to that a lot, and I didn't want to, but I did anyway. Now, Hallie has what I believe the internet likes to call oldest daughter syndrome, which is something that I personally relate to a lot. It's something where you're the person in your family, usually the eldest daughter, who has to remind people of birthdays and events and plan events and make sure that everyone's schedules are right, and to make sure that everyone has the correct Mother's Day, Father's Day gifts, and making sure that your siblings are in check so that your parents don't have to then stress out about that, and basically being the third parent. And I'm not saying it's just an eldest daughter thing, because I also can name quite a few older siblings that aren't women that struggle with all of this. I also like that Hallie was a writer. Of course, I could relate to that. If you watch any of the videos on this channel, you will know that I am a writer who never has time to write unless she makes YouTube videos about it. And I put on Goodreads, and yet again, I can't fully remember why, because this was, I can't see when this was, the 4th of February. I'm currently filming this on the 30th of March. And I put in my review that the book was good. I felt like I finished it reading as though I wanted more, but I don't know what more of. I didn't want more spice because I quite liked the fact that it didn't have too much spice. It respected the fact that it respected the fact that Hallie was new to all of that, and she didn't really want to be having sex all the time, unlike Aurora and Russ and Nate and Stassi. Not that there's anything wrong with those two either. Ignore that, we're also spring cleaning. I have a good but also bad feeling on how much, on how much Hallie and Henry would ask each other things, especially Hallie towards Henry, if my memory is correct. Hallie and Henry would often ask each other what their boundaries were, ask if they're okay, or if they needed a minute outside, or if they needed to be left alone, if they wanted space, that kind of a thing. And to a degree, it was really good to see that kind of healthy communication in a book. But then it also got to the point where it's like, Hallie, he is not a baby. Please stop asking him every 2 seconds if he needs a minute, if he needs space. And I can't remember what it was, but at one point Hallie just goes to him and she goes, does doing this make you feel sad? And I'm like, I have had therapists talk to me less patronizingly than that. That's my opinion, not saying that Hallie's a bad character. That just, it gave me the ick for a little bit. It made me be like, okay, because I hate when other people talk to myself or others like that. So I was very much like, okay. The whole, and I know that in like 2 seconds you're about to read the or watch the full review series, but this book very much did continue on with the found family vibes, which again I love the found family vibes. I was watching, it was a rewatch, I was watching Daisy Jones and the Six, the TV show, the other day, and even the ending of that made me cry. Anything with found family, I believe that like even the ending of Desperate Housewives made me cry. And I'm not on about I'm not on about Karen McCluskey's death. I'm on about the fact that they all leave. That made me cry. Will deserves to be punched in the face. It's that simple. I'm kind of glad that Hallie admitted that, like, yeah, I was only with him because I felt like I had to have a boyfriend. I didn't even want to be with him. He was like a good friend when he was around, but I didn't actually think of him that much. That I liked. And I liked the fact that Will was open about how much of an arsehole he was. I have read every single one of Hannah Grace's books now, at least the ones that are traditionally published. I don't think she has any self-published books, but I have read all of Hannah Grace's books. I really do like her writing, and I know that she's currently writing, I believe it's a Formula One project. And I know that she's a Formula One fan based off the fact that Aurora's dad owns one of the companies in Formula One. No, I have read all of Hannah Grace's books now, and I really can't wait for whatever she comes out next. I really like her writing. It's such an easy read, not in like a, oh yeah, it's easy because I can just skim read it and it's bad, but it's an easy read in the sense of I can put it down, not have to touch it for a week, and then I still know what's going on, which I really like. And now on to the more fun stuff. I have recently started a romance book club over on Patreon. It is £3 a month and you get links to our Discord server. This month, I don't have the book on me actually, but this month, because by the time you're reading this, we are 3 days into, more than that, we are a week into reading Maisie Eddings' book. We are a week currently into reading Maisie Eddings' book, Late Bloomer, which is a Sapphic Grumpy X Sunshine Friends to Lovers book. And I can't wait to see you join me over there. You get a vote on what we read every month if you come join us. I can't wait to see you join over there. We are going to chat about all comfy and cozy things. When it comes to books, I've made it 18 plus, which I'm sorry for the younger viewers, but I have made it 18 plus. I don't feel comfortable letting minors into my Patreon knowing that the books we're reading are going to be spicy books. I don't want to be talking to a 16-year-old about. Overall, I think I'd rate the series as a whole at 4 stars. On Fable, I actually, as I already said, rated Icebreaker as 4 stars. I think I'd probably rate it 3.5 still. My least favourite of the books was Icebreaker. It was still good, it was only okay. Daydream followed in second place, and Wildfire was my favourite of the series. It's one of my favourite books, as I've already said. I love it a lot. And in case I didn't show you, and I can't remember if I did, I have a signed copy, which I love a lot. I've read some of Hannah Grace's other work. When I say some, I mean she has these books and then a Christmas book called Holiday Ever After. I have read that. I read that over Christmas. If you would like to see my review, that is currently I have it uploaded into my shorts. It's the best series I've ever read, not in the sense that they're all 5 stars, in the sense that I have read some bad series. Didn't like the Twisted series, thought that the Iris Kelly Doesn't Date series was mid, but besides that, it was a good series. Icebreaker was meh, Wildfire was amazing. I could talk about Wildfire all day. And Daydream was okay. There's a warning in the start of the book. Let me find the exact words. Content warning. Icebreaker is intended for adult use only. Which, I'll get into that in a second. It contains mature themes and sexually explicit content. Not intended for readers younger than 18 years old. This book also contains a focus on eating habits. I think that the eating issues in Icebreaker aren't, thankfully, that serious, in a sense that it's not naming bad habits in the way that books could. I don't want to say the words because I don't want YouTube to take anything down. I don't want to upset anyone. I feel like it does romanticize eating issues a little bit, which I don't appreciate. But at the same time, it's not like a eat for me. But it sits kind of in between, because the eating issues in Icebreaker that's spoken about is that Anastasia's skating partner restricts what she's eating because he doesn't want to build the strength to have to lift her when they're performing and dancing together. Which is shit, but it's not as bad as it could be. It's not like girl interrupted bad. We aren't going to talk about that. We aren't going to bring that up. We don't bring that up here. No. The series as a whole, I think, is overhated. When it did the thing that any popular thing does, where it gets hyped, overhyped, and then because it's overhyped, people want to seem different, so they hate it. The series is not as bad as some people say, but it's also not as good as some people say. Wildfire is amazing. It's one of my favourite books.
Dobby!
Stop! Dobby!
The other 2 books are okay. That's unfortunately where I can put it. I think that Hannah Grace is a wonderful writer. Please do not think that I do not like Hannah Grace's writing. Holiday Ever After is also one of my favourite books, her Christmas book. You know, Icebreaker was her debut novel, and for a debut novel to reach that success is amazing. It's unexpected and pretty much unheard of to a degree. And I could be wrong, I don't believe that she had a platform. It's not like she was a YouTuber, which there's no shade in being a YouTuber and publishing a book. She still managed to, I believe the book is the New York Times bestseller, but I do like Hannah Grace's writing. I think that depending on the mood I am in and what I'm going through when I read books will massively impact how I feel. When I was reading Daydream, for example, if I read Daydream now, I may find Hallie and Henry asking each other if they're okay, if they need a minute, all of those things. I might find that cute now. When I read it, at the time, I was very stressed, very tired, probably a little bit depressed, and I was a bit like, okay, we get it. Shut the fuck up. One thing you do have to mention with whenever you bring up the Maple Hills series is of course the smut, and I don't mean the minion scene, I don't mean the storm scene, and I don't mean the paint scene. I mean the fact that people like to call it, and I think we need to talk about that. People often hate on this series for 2 reasons. We're going to talk about 2. The fact that it's, and the covers. we'll start with what I did the research on Icebreaker itself. The other two books doesn't have actually as much smut in it, so I don't really need to use the statistics I have for Icebreaker on the other two books. They're just a part of the series. So we'll start with Icebreaker. I have a lot of comments on, I've seen so many comments actually on the internet of people saying that Icebreaker is, and a lot of people say that about romance books anyway, but whenever I research this book, it's always people saying it. And I did the maths, and 20% of the chapters in the book, I have the exact maths actually written here. 11 chapters out of 50 have some kind of spice in them. That's 22% of the book that has spice in them. Besides me being defensive about Icebreaker and smutty romance books, if you were to get a film that ran for 100 minutes and had 22 minutes of spice in the film, you'd have 50 Shades of Grey. So yes, that film is about getting jiggy with it. And the fact that people so quickly like to shame a genre that's based for and around women, because the romance genre is based and the target audience is women. People like to have a lot of comments on that. I made a video actually the other day on TikTok about a spicy scene I had read, and someone commented low IQ genre. Of course I had to comment back because I fall for everything. I think that violence in thrillers is normalised. If you watch a thriller and there's violence in it, it's expected. You watch an action film and there's a fight scene, it's expected in it. But God forbid a romance has a little bit of spice in it. The most intimate thing to people, or more, I'm not here to judge, but the thing that people can do that is the most intimate thing they can do, literally being inside each other, the most intimate thing they can do. And it's controversial the second it becomes something that more women are interested in. Like I said, violence in thrillers and action films is expected. Imagine a Marvel film without a fight scene. Name one. Name a Marvel film without a spice scene. Name a Marvel film without a fight scene. It's the exact same thing. You watch and read a romance and you get spice. It's romance, it's intimacy. You watch an action film, you get violence. It's what you get when you watch and read the genre that you are watching and reading. It's what you get. So I think that we do need to start having conversations. Oh, I mean, we already are, but we need to have more detailed conversations about why women aimed genres and women aimed hobbies are hated on more. Because even if it was, which it isn't, even if it was, what is the difference between Joe down the road sitting in his bedroom watching it and can't think of a woman's name. I'm not going to use my own. I'm not that stupid. And all I can think of is people I know that are going to watch this. And Jodie, good old Jodie, that lives next door to Joe and Jodie. Joe and Jodie are married. They share a house. He's up in their bedroom watching. She's sat in the living room reading Icebreaker. Even if it was. So fucking what? Which then leads me on to talk about the covers. These books have a lot of hate because they have animated covers on them. The characters are animated. And there've been a lot of... I've seen teachers, I've seen parents talking a lot online that they let their child read this book. And it's so shocking that their child would read this book. But essentially what has happened is an adult, whether it's a teacher or parent or a guardian, has not looked through what they are giving children access to. And I stand by that. You can anyone remember the film Sausage Party? I can remember when the film came out that all I was hearing about was the fact that these parents they took their children to go see it because they thought it was a kids' film. It's not. It really is not. And it's the same thing again. In fact, it takes 2 seconds to flip the book around. 18 plus content, not suitable for younger readers. It says it on the back. 18 plus content, not suitable for younger readers. Not suitable for younger readers. It says it on the back. That is not suitable for younger readers. I think that parents are trusting the internet too much. Plus, Hannah Grace gets the hate for these covers. She doesn't. When you're a writer, you do get a say to a degree on what your book cover will look like, but you do not pick every aspect. She was likely said, "This is the cover, how do you like it?" And she went, "Great, can I add this? Yes or no?" That she didn't pick the cover, so people giving her hate just because her name is on there does not mean that it's her fault. That's the thing, so many parents do. They give their children access to YouTube and TikTok, and then when they stumble across books that have naughty content in them, talking about boobs, they then get surprised when they open the book that says it on the back. I got the Icebreaker book in 2023, July of 2023. I got it on my 18th birthday. I still stand by it that it is not Hannah Grace's fault that this book is being shamed for its cover because parents aren't checking what they're giving their children. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. I'm sorry to go on such a rant. Don't take it personally if I've said anything to offend you. I'm just very passionate and also sick of people's bullshit. So, yeah. Thank you very much for watching this video. It's actually my first ever review. I'm not sure how good it will be. I'm quite nervous because I don't like making videos where I'm just sat still. So, I guess we'll find out that fly. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video and if you want more reading or even writing content, please do subscribe. Thank you very much. I hope you have a nice rest of your day.